What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and just another stunning embarrassment for Naughty Dog and The Last of Us 2 to get to. It has been a wild ride. In fact, it's still going. The game doesn't come out till what, June 19th, so we've got another almost 3 weeks for things to get even more spicy. But this level of spice will probably confirm or deny, I expect by tomorrow, all of the rumors, everything that people have thought or said about The Last of Us 2. All of the damage control by voice actors from The Last of Us 2 saying, oh, you don't know the game, it's very different, it's difficult. We're about to find out everything. We're about to find out if the person really is trans. We're about to find out if it's really as bad as we thought. The story-wise, we're about to find out everything. And before we get into that, by the way, no spoilers in this video. No spoilers in this video. But before we get into that, just a huge shout out. I'll keep it short. This video sponsors manscaped.com. They've stuck by this channel through thick and thin. Right now, when advertisers are nowhere to be found, they've continued to stick by us. They have this product. It's the Lawnmower 3.0. I use it for trimming everything. Everything. It's waterproof. It has a long-lasting battery. It fast charges. And if you use my link in the description below, you can save 20%. Look, a lot of people have to get pretty creative with their management of body hair right now at home. And why not support a good company and the channel by getting yourself a Lawnmower 3.0. Now, just the other day, Eric Kane, always does solid work over at Forbes, talked about The Last of Us 2 has the largest install size of any PlayStation 4 exclusive. Now, I'm not surprised. Genuinely, I'm not surprised that games just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger with no sign of that stopping. Files get larger. Compression, they don't care anymore because they just pump it all over our high-speed internet connections. But it's still a big problem because not everyone has unlimited data. Not everyone has ultra high-speed internet. When you're staring down the barrel of downloading 200 gigs, that takes a very long time. Jim Sterling made a scathing inquisition recently when Game Leak said the studio's rather awful policy on crunch, wherein employees worked ridiculously long hours in order to finish the game, detailed in the Kotaku investigation. Meanwhile, the YouTube gaming community is riled up, to put it mildly, after Sony allegedly sent out a whole plethora of Sony DMCA takedowns to YouTubers. That's not allegedly, Eric. We've proved that, but I appreciate you covering that. Who's apparently only discussed said footage, while discussions of the game's spoilers are unfortunate. They are not copyrightable. Copyright claims were also leveled at social media users who made memes about the games. People have been invoking the Streisand effect in regards to these copyright claims, noting that Sony's attempt to quash leaks and discussion of those leaks could result in backlash and negative reaction from fans, resulting in a far more serious problem than just letting well enough alone. I think that's absolutely true. Now, as far as the file size, The Last of Us Part 2 may not be as controversial as all that, but it is hefty, quite a bit larger than any other PlayStation 4 exclusive. The game requires 100 gigabytes of free space to download and will occupy a snug 78.3 gigabytes on your hard drive installation, barring any day one update, which we know will probably happen. This comes by way of Twisted Voxel. Now, by comparison, you see Uncharted 4, 48, Marvel Spider-Man, 45. The next, those are the biggest. God of War was only 44. This is more than double that. Well, actually, it's not. It's almost double that. You got Days Gone, The Order, Ratchet and Clank, and Bloodborne. Now, if you go way back in time, I'm not surprised to hear that game sizes have shrunk. Now, in any cases, The Last of Us Part 2 releases June 19th. Sony has decided not to provide Forbes with a review copy. For some reason, they have not explained. So look for thoughts from myself and Paul Tassi, Dave Thier, and the rest of the Forbes games after the game hits a shelf. That I thought was really bizarre. It was a point that I saw Eric bring up on Twitter that they didn't give Forbes any review copies. I asked him directly if he thought it was because they covered the leaks. He didn't think so. He wasn't sure why they didn't. Maybe they had given Naughty Dog unfavorable coverage in the past. We know that's how Sony is. I'm not sure. Maybe they just didn't want any more leaks, but there certainly are companies that did get review copies. Then just 2 days ago, They released another 24 minutes of new gameplay, and overall, I thought it was fine. I thought it was pretty interesting to me that they allowed live chat to happen. I was watching live chat. There was a lot of people that didn't think the game went far enough in terms of texturing, and saying the game looked like a DLC pack. But obviously we know that Naughty Dog has put a significant amount of time into the new story, and you know, I don't know it. You don't really know a ton about new gameplay mechanics. It's going to be interesting to see, because as I've been covering this now for a couple of weeks, I've kind of gone back and forth. I thought, is this really, are we going to see sales really affected negatively by these leaks? Probably, but what percentage? You know, obviously there is some section of people that don't care about the story mode or won't have played the first game that now probably found out, you know, about The Last of Us 2 due to all the controversy. So in a way, the leaks probably helped the game. But in other ways, seeing the amount of people outraged about the way they treated the original characters of The Last of Us and how their stories came to an end, they probably aren't buying the game. There'll be some percentage of them that buy it anyway, just to kind of, out of morbid curiosity. I've asked before in my comment section how many of you legitimately were going to buy it and then decided, you know what, forget this. And most of you said, not just that it was the story that made you not want to buy it, but there were also a lot of people that, quite frankly, were not happy with the way that Naughty Dog and The Last of Us employed this Musso company, let Musso take all the heat for DMCA taking down tweets. I got hit with over 50 claims myself. Now, none of my videos were taken down, but other YouTubers' videos were taken down, not just Musso, though, by Sony themselves. So Naughty Dog obviously never came out to disavow this. Naughty Dog never came out to try and make this stop, because even after the original wave of backlash, they just continued to let it happen. And now we have an even more interesting thing. Pictures are flowing in that the full game is now leaked. The full game in its entirety is playable and will have large video segments online very soon. Now I'm wondering if because you have to download so much from the server, if this means people will even be able to play the game. Maybe Naughty Dog can stop people from actually playing the game, or maybe they can't. But pictures have surfaced now. People have been able to purchase The Last of Us Part 2. This is a picture from Poland. I don't know where else this might be available, but it'll be interesting to see if they can actually play it. My guess is when they plug it in and go to, you know, actually download the game, the servers won't be available. But if they are, think about that. You could have people doing complete playthroughs of The Last of Us 2 weeks before the game comes out. Weeks. Entire playthroughs available on YouTube and Twitch. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this was a mistake, a break on street date, but this is in somebody's house, and I received multiple pictures, not just in store, but at home. So the purchases have been made. This isn't like some employee that, you know, took a fancy picture and said that they bought it. There are several people that were able to purchase this game, and this is another embarrassment for Naughty Dog. Is it their fault that this store broke street date? No, it isn't. But it's going to be interesting to watch the various outlets where you might see leaks come through. If all of a sudden we start to see more gameplay, more controversial clips leaking out. And, you know, coincidentally, I went to look for anybody covering this. Nobody's covering it. You know, games have broken street date before. This isn't the first time, but it is another bad sign for Naughty Dog, especially if they can play the game. But I am curious, where are you all now that basically all the dust has settled? Are you still interested in buying this game? Have you returned yours? I mean, we saw a whole flood of new special editions available on Amazon. That is surely because of canceled pre-orders. I can't see another. I can't see Naughty Dog having another press show up at Amazon weeks before release. So, you know, do you think they're still going to sell 10 million copies? Do you still think it'll be the best-selling game of all time? It's going to be interesting to see. I'm fairly certain it's still going to sell well, but how well will be the question. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.